Paints in Tanky, from a very important part of your tank to something you get upset when you get in a container. After spending all day on a super mission. Time to touch grass, my friend. For sure, paints in Tanky had a really long history in the game, from the normal ones to esport paints and unique paints for individual players. And we're gonna cover all of that and more in this video. Welcome to the history of paints in Tanky. From the start of the game, paints had been used to provide protection against turrets. A paint could protect up to 6 turrets. A lot of OG paints in Tanky are from this era. Let's dive in before the graphic and then economy reset of Tanky. Those were the oldest paints in the game. I found this picture in a forum from 2010, 2011. It doesn't include all of them, but the most important ones. Inferno was the only paint with 15% protection, and it was against freeze. Zeus has 14% against ricochet, Emerald 14% against thunder, and the most important paint is Jaguar. It had protection against 6 turrets, which is absurd to think about. After 2012, Tanky updated the graphic and added new ranks after Marshall. They changed the prices of the paints, with it making paints can protect against 4 turrets at max. Those paints were Jade, Rock, Sandstone, and others. Also, the top tier colors were Zeus, Emerald, Needle, Prodigy, Inferno, and Snowline. Yeah, that's his true name. Like this, the paints in TankiOnline had been. And in 2014, they added Hammer, so Tiger and Nano paint, and others had protection from it. In 2015, they added Vulcan, so they added Africa. Before moving on to the next big update for paints, let's go over some special paints from this era. Alligator paint. It was made for battle and chat modes. Gladiator paint appeared in 2013 and it was only given to the winners of Tanky fighting tournaments. Helper paint appeared in 2013 having 20% protection against all turrets and it was only given to helpers. Night paint, it was the holiday paint for Halloween 2014. Frost paint, it was in Christmas of 2014 and you could only rent it and it had 20% protection from all turrets. Premium paint, after they introduced the premium account concept into the game. Golden Star appeared on 2015 May days. Eternity paint was available in Halloween 2015. The red suit paint as a part of Red Pool promotion. Keep in mind, that's not all the special paints in Tanky, because if I cover all of them, the video will be more than 1 hour. Anyway, the next big update the paints will receive will be in 2016. We had the separation of protection from paints, making protection models a thing, and the paints were just an aesthetic thing for your tank. That will lead to the huge amount of paints we have today, making them much less important than they used to be. And with this update, we saw the comeback of old paints like Frost, Golden Star, and the OG First Love paint. After that, in 2017, Tanky introduced the shop paints. They were kinda expensive, but those paints had a higher quality and looked unique in my opinion. Lime is still one of my favorites. In 2015 and after each year, there was a unique paint for each helper of that year. And for the esport paints, I will mention the most interesting ones like Acid, Prism for the winners of the International Championship, Champion, Silver, Bronze. You can get from placing first, second, third in a Tanky Major. Going to parkour paints, there was the popular Master of Parkour paints 2013, 2014, 15 till 2020. After it, Tanky didn't do a Master of Parkour competition, and the Sky, Glide, the Blaze, they were all obtainable from parkour tournaments. The War and the minigame paints like VK Team, Team Russia, Elves, Lions, and Bears. All these paints made their appearance on their respective events. In 2017, Tanky added the first animated paint, the Flow paint. After that, Tanky added more animated paint in special events, and with just a blink of an eye, there was over 100 paints. And after the introduction of containers, most of the paints in the game were added to the containers. And before we end this video, let's go over rare paints most players don't know they exist. Lord paint. This paint is exclusive for the player named Seedlope, who is the co-founder of the game. He received it on his birthday in 2010. Steam paint, only obtainable by buying the Tanky expensive DLC in Steam Shop. Clash 86 RUS and Goli FFFFF. I don't know how to spell these names, but yeah, released on 2012 for an event and was removed after that. I think they were named after players in early esport days. Photon Paint was exclusive to mobile early access bundle of TankiOnline in 2018. Kasim Paint was an exclusive paint for an event called Kasim vs Sun. That was a brief history paints in TankiOnline. I couldn't cover all of the details, so I just covered the most important points of paints in Tanky. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it interesting, and stay safe out there. Goodbye.